People could not believe that that was just sitting in the bottom of a box for 21 years. Hi, I'm Chris Salcedo, and this is Consignor Confidential. I grew up in a pretty small town called Casa Grande, Arizona. Sports were always a big deal growing up in my family. I remember even my family leaving us on certain vacations because I had traveling ball tournaments and things like that. I definitely remember when the passion started for the hobby. I like to open the packs of cards because it had the bubble gum in them. That was the early 90s. My grandma actually managed a store. She knew that I loved baseball cards, and so every birthday present, anything like that, she would give me a pack of baseball cards, and so stuck with me, that was my thing growing up. A lot of kids had marbles or cars or things like that, and I loved opening sports cards to collect, Ken Griffey Jr. or Frank Thomas or things like that. From about junior high until I graduated high school. We lived in Kansas. Right after high school, I ended up going into the Air Force, and I did a 4-year enlistment. I got PRP certified, which is basically a security clearance to work with nuclear missiles. I got out in 2012, and so pretty much all this gap, I wasn't collecting cars. I just had so much going on between, life that it was still there in the back of my mind, and the stuff was still saved there. I still had cards that were more sentimental value than they were probably valuable at the time. When it really picked back up, my fiance was working at a salon, and they closed all the salons and everything down. So I had to basically take a job in Washington, and I live in Kansas, so it's on the completely other side of the United States. And that's really when it got going again. I just started buying tons of cards, spending thousands of dollars on cards. She knew that it was making me happy, and I was away from my family, and so she just accepted it. And honestly, at one point, I feel like it maybe got out of hand, but the last couple years, it's been a blessing for my family.
Trading card collectors spend their entire lives trying to find a card like a Winfield resident found last week.
Cakes Jackson Everstreet tells us why he calls it his lottery ticket, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
He started coffee cards and memorabilia, and it's immediately been a success in my eyes. My business partner, Scott Dassonville, he's actually based out of France. We met through one of our trading card groups. Instead of paying double these prices for the most recent boxes, we've been buying like early 90s and mid 90s boxes in hopes to try to maybe pull a Kobe autograph or a Jordan autograph. But over the last year, we've tried so many different boxes and just haven't had very much luck. Our partner Scott had told me about a box that he was looking into buying. 2001 Pros and Prospects. Kobe Bryant is on the front cover of the box. We ended up paying $400 for that box. So we're opening this box, and probably I would say maybe $50, to be honest, in value all through it. And so there's one pack left in the box. And I remember I opened that pack. I'm on a live video call with him, so I'm trying to hold the card so he can see the front, and I can see the back, and I'm like, well, here's our jersey card, and so I'm like, it's a bull, and I was just thinking, what bull player is that, and it was Michael Jordan's autograph. It was a jersey, a game worn piece from him. And what made it so special was that he marked it number 3 of 23 on it. So to be honest, the first person I called was my grandma in Arizona. She's the one that got me into collecting cards. I couldn't tell you the exact odds for that player, for that card, numbered to 23, but it's like, honestly, it's probably like 1 in a million. It's so crazy. The odds are unreal. People could not believe that, that was just sitting in the bottom of a box for 21 years. Yeah, I could not believe it. I still can't believe it. We didn't want to let it go at the time, but we knew that, that it happened for a reason, and we did it together, and it was for our business, it was for our families. Like, we talked about hitting that crazy card that was going to help us, and we really hit that crazy card. And I still can't believe it telling you the story. Like, it's the most, like, man, it makes my eyes water up. Like, it's so unreal. I could not believe it. Yeah, it's insane. I'm just super passionate about the hobby. Like, anybody in the hobby that has ever pulled a numbered Michael Jordan card, like, you just have to know what it feels like. So, it's crazy.